Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, today we are completely cutting through all that industry hype to find the most practical, affordable, and reliable electric vehicles for your actual daily life. If you've been kind of sitting on the fence about going electric because you thought it was just too expensive or, way too complicated, well, you are in exactly the right place. Because instead of drooling over those six-figure luxury toys, like, say, the Tesla Model S Plaid, we're zeroing in entirely on the booming 2026 market of EVs designed specifically for middle-class consumers. We're talking about cars that actually balance affordability with everyday practicality and performance. You really don't need to be a millionaire to drive the future anymore. And this shift is exactly what's rocking the automotive world right now. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the 2026 EV sweet spot, move right into the ultimate budget-friendly options, explore those mid-range all-stars, check out the tech and resale king, and finally, answer the big question: which EV should you buy? All right, part one, the 2026 EV sweet spot, finding your perfect match. Let's just jump right into how the market has totally evolved past those early adopters to hit an absolute sweet spot for everyday buyers like us. Moving to part two, the ultimate budget-friendly EVs. Maximum value, minimal cost. If you're strictly watching your wallet, this first tier is all about the absolute champions of low running costs and practical urban commuting. When we compare the BYD Dolphin or Atto 3 with the updated Nissan Leaf E+, it's pretty obvious they prioritize proven affordability over, flashy, mind-blowing specs. I mean, they aren't trying to win drag races. They're trying to get you to work and back with zero emissions and maximum savings in your pocket. The charging speeds for these hover right around that 80 to 100 kilowatt mark, meaning you can get from 10 to 80% in about 30 to 40 minutes, which is honestly perfect for a quick grocery run. But here is the absolute kicker: $22,000. That is the staggering starting price for the BYD Dolphin. I mean, wow, this number completely redefines the entry-level EV market globally. For years, the biggest barrier to EV adoption was just the pure sticker shock. Well, a price tag like this literally shatters that barrier. Of course, there's always a trade-off, right? With a BYD, you get this incredible value, a super practical 250 to 310 miles of range, and a compact size that is just a dream for urban driving. But on the flip side, you definitely sacrifice premium interior materials. Plus, a 0-60 time of 8 seconds, yeah, that won't be pinning you to your seat. Also, depending on where you live, you might be dealing with a pretty limited global service network outside of Asia and Europe. Then we have the updated 2026 Nissan Leaf E+. It offers that famously comfortable, rock-solid commuter experience. The Leaf has literal years of proven production behind it. However, its 226-mile range distinctly lags behind the newer kids on the block. On top of that, its styling is a bit dated, and the 6.9-second 0-60 acceleration is, well, it's fine, but it's not cutting edge. It's safe, it's reliable, but it's not a thrill ride. Okay, part three, the mid-range all-stars. Balanced price and performance. Let's step up to our second tier, which is really designed for those of you who want long highway legs, modern tech, and family space. This is where the competition gets fiercely good. We've got a massive spec showdown here between three fantastic all-stars that hover right in that $39,000 to $53,000 zone. We're talking about the Kia EV6, the Hyundai Ioniq 6, and the Volkswagen ID.4. What jumps out immediately is the range capability. The Hyundai pushes a massive 380 miles, and the Kia hits up to 340. We are firmly in road trip territory now. Now, I want you to focus on this crucial number, 18 minutes. Thanks to a 350 kilowatt ultra-fast charging architecture, both the Hyundai Ioniq 6 and the Kia EV6 can juice up from 10 to 80% in exactly 18 minutes. Just think about that for a second. You pull over, plug in, grab a quick coffee, use the restroom, and by the time you're back at your car, you're ready to hit the highway again. Range anxiety? totally eliminated. Breaking these all-stars down, the Hyundai Ioniq 6 uses this incredibly sleek aero design to hit that 380-mile efficiency mark. But because of that swooping, coupe-like roofline, taller passengers might literally feel the pinch in the back seat. Reviewers also note the steering can feel just a bit numb, and let's be honest, it simply doesn't carry the same global brand prestige as a Tesla. Next up, the Kia EV6. It shares the exact same ultra-fast charging platform as the Hyundai, but leans hard into a more aggressive, stylish exterior and genuinely agile handling. It's really fun to drive, but while it's spacious, the rear seat space is smaller than your traditional SUV. You've also got to watch out for the infotainment system, which can sometimes lag a bit, and if you're not careful, speccing up to those higher trims will drain your wallet pretty quickly. Rounding out this mid-range tier is the VW ID4. This is the one that trades thrilling speed for a super quiet, spacious, and incredibly well-built family SUV experience. Great ride, tons of cargo space, but the trade-offs are pretty clear. A slower 7.5-second acceleration, an infotainment system that some find a bit clunky, and again, those top-tier trims push the budget higher. If you prioritize supreme comfort over sportiness, though, this is your match. Moving right along to Part 4, the Tech and Resale King. The industry benchmark. We have to talk about the vehicle that essentially defined this modern segment for long-term tech lovers. The Tesla Model 3, specifically the Standard Range Plus or rear-wheel drive version, is still a total beast of an option. Just listen to these baseline stats. Starting between $39,000 and $42,000, you're getting up to 300 miles of range, a very snappy 5.8-second 0 to 60 time, and arguably the biggest perk of all, access to the 250-kilowatt supercharger network. But let's weigh the pros and cons here. Yes, Tesla absolutely dominates with autopilot, stellar resale value, and that unmatched, totally seamless supercharger network. But you do have to accept a noticeably stiffer ride compared to the VW or Nissan. Also, that famous minimalist interior, it relies on much more basic materials compared to those really well-built mid-range all-stars we just covered. And depending on your region, getting a service appointment can sometimes be a massive headache. All right, Part 5, which EV should you buy? The final verdict. We've thrown a lot of data at you across 3 distinct pricing and lifestyle tiers, so let's tie it all together and figure out a clear recommendation based on exactly what kind of buyer you are. Let's map out your perfect match. If you are all about that budget life and want the absolute lowest upfront and running costs, the BYD Dolphin or Atto 3 is a complete no-brainer. If you're looking for that sweet spot of high performance, long range, and lightning-fast charging for road trips, the Kia EV6 or Hyundai Ioniq 6 are fantastic balanced choices. And if you're hyper-focused on long-term tech, automated driving, and holding resale value, well, the Tesla Model 3 is still the king of the hill. Honestly, the biggest takeaway from this explainer today? Peace of mind. You don't have to guess anymore, and you absolutely do not need to overpay for some massive battery if you're only driving 15 miles a day in the city. The BYD is perfect for that. But if you are doing long-distance travel and you want those crazy 18-minute charging stops, the Kia or Hyundai will serve you brilliantly without pushing you into ultra-luxury price tags. So take a hard look at your actual daily habits. Are you strictly budget conscious, or do you really need that long-range highway performance? With prices tumbling and charging times catching up to a quick gas station run, the real question isn't which 2026 EV you'll buy, it's whether you'll ever buy a gas-powered car again. Thanks so much for tuning into this explainer, and we'll catch you next.